Hey guys, welcome back to the Fan Cave Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Bluedorn. Today, we have a new face amongst us here. We have, not new face, but we have an old guest back on, Mr. Blake Stidham, B. Stiddy. How we doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Heck yeah. And to my right, I can't do right or left. We got his brother, the man, the myth, the other Southern boy, Mr. Landon Stidham. What's up, brother?
It's good. I'm just upset because you and Debo get off days and I don't. So
Yeah, I know. Like I said, there's a familiar face that is not here today. It is Mr. Debo Mills. The light skinned champion is not with us today. Unfortunately, he is driving to Denver, Colorado, and cannot be on.
he got.
And so
He
I
got fired.
am in charge of running the tech stuff today, which is not good because I'm the least techie person ever. All they do is pay me to talk because that's all I know how to do, and I'm not very good at that. But they have to do something. So let's dive right in here, boys. I apologize now for how bad this is going to go tech-wise, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Go ahead, Landon.
I just want to address that. Debo actually got fired because his take on Stetson Bennett being better than Bryce Young. So
yeah, that one wasn't very good. I do think that his indie take was pretty solid as well. So I mean, he's really in the doghouse for both.
We'll throw those at Blake later in the show. We'll throw those Blake and see what he thinks because he'll want to.
Don't do that.
Definitely. But before we dive into all of that, I want to hear your guys' take on the game last night between the Chargers and the Chiefs. It was a heck of a football game. The Chiefs edged it out at the end because of a bad, terrible mistake by Justin Herbert. Landon, give us your thoughts on the game last night.
Yeah. First thing I like to do is I like to look at the stats, and basically on almost every single stat there was in football, the Chargers had the Chiefs beat. Time possession, first downs, third down efficiency, fourth down efficiency, total yards, passing yards. Kansas City had more rushing yards. Kansas City had more penalties. But the one stat that stands out for all of us is the turnovers. Kansas City did a great job of taking care of the football. Patrick Mahomes did a good job of finding receivers when they were open. There's a few bad plays he made that were neutralized because of penalties. But I think I made a joke with Dylan before we logged on. I said Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady that game last night, and we've seen Tom pull out a lot of games but it takes a lot of plays to win the game. But the pick six by Justin Herbert, that was tough. And looking back now, if that play didn't happen, would the outcome change? We don't know. But the Chargers were driving at that point in the game. It was early in the fourth quarter, and they were putting a really good drive together. And I think a lot of us were confused about what the route was. It was really confusing, that play. But, it was a really fun game to watch. I wish it could have been on, available for everybody to watch, not just Amazon Prime. But that's beef with Jeff Bezos and me. That's not anything else. But it was a good start Thursday Night Football. And I think both teams have a lot to look forward to. But I think we're all like we said, the Chiefs are the favorite in the AFC outside the Bills, and they're definitely the favorite in the division right now.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't agree more. It was a Tom Brady stat line, and he got it done, even though Justin Herbert had the better quarterback, but he's definitely not. But he had a better game.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you got, man?
Man, it was an excellent game. Great way to kick off Thursday Night Football. Two things that stood out to me in that game. Obviously, there was a play where Herbert threw the 99-yard pick six. I think at that point in the game, he was already beat up. He was beat down. He's been taking hits all night. Chris Jones was just absolutely dogging him. And I think that towards the end of the game, he kind of predetermined his reads. Like on that pick six, he knew where he was going with the football before the play ever began. I mean, you could just watching the way he dropped back. That's where he was looking the entire time. And I think he really just tried to force something that wasn't there. In the next, they had a 3-and-out. As soon as the Chiefs kicked the ball back to him, he had Mike Williams going on a 10-yard in route in the middle of the field, and he threw it to triple coverage. I mean, it was a miracle that it wasn't picked, and he had a guy sitting open in the flats that he could have hit for the first down. So I think that after he had that injury, that kind of affected him mentally. But I want to give props to Herbert because he had an incredible game. Besides, you take away that one play, the Chargers probably win the football game, and that kind of brings me to my second thing. The one thing that the Chiefs did was they adjusted early in the game. Nick Bosa and Khalil Mack, they were really getting pressure on Mahomes. They were kind of disrupting what the Chiefs wanted to do, and so like you guys said, he kind of became a Tom Brady, more of a game manager. After the half, we saw him getting the ball out quicker. He wasn't really taking 3-step, 5-step drops and letting plays develop. He was kind of finding the first guy who was open, the first sure 4 or 5 yard gain, and he was hitting them. And so I think that his ability to adapt in the middle of the game and kind of just take what the defense was giving him is what led to Kansas City being able to put points on the board in the second half and eventually move the ball well enough to get a win here.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. You mentioned the pick six on the 1 yard line. I think that was the nail in the coffin for the game. That was the absolute game changer. Although I give credit to Justin Herbert to come back and bring them back and put them in that football game. They were one more botched onside kick away from making it a game. They almost got that ball, man. That was so close. The Hands team guy, I forgot who it was, but man, when he dropped that ball, I got excited for a minute. It was going to be a heck of a game, but it didn't quite happen. But like I said, it's a heck of a football game, heck of a start. I can't wait for the round 2 between those two teams. Right now, I think I got. I mean, you're not gonna like this beast, but I mean, the Raiders can do it, but man, the Chargers and the Chiefs look good. That division's loaded.
Yeah.
2-horse, 3-horse race. The Broncos are trash, but I mean, other than that, though, that division's looking mighty tough this year.
Yeah. Now, I said this before we came on with Dylan, and Blake wasn't on yet, but we were talking about, are the Raiders in contention? And I think as long as they have healthy Devontae Adams and healthy Derek Carr, they have a shot.
Absolutely.
Because those two were just, you saw in the Chargers game, Derek Carr did not play a good game by his standards at all. He did not. Devontae had none. I thought the Raiders didn't really start playing football until the second half. And even then, it was super rocky. And here's the good thing, man. The Raiders, they're going to get the Chiefs in about 3 weeks, and they got a few games in between them. But one thing I pointed out is their last home game of the regular season, they host the Chiefs at Vegas. Mm-hmm. So if they can take care of business with Denver, maybe split one with the Chargers, and take one, maybe, the first one with the Chiefs, then they have a good chance. But,
they'll need some help. They'll need some help. In my eyes, it's the Chiefs' division to lose. I mean, the Chiefs are, they're the alpha. If they go in and take care of business and do what Kansas City has done for the past 4 years, then honestly, nobody else is in contention because they're going to win those close ball games against the Chargers. You can't make that mistake. That's a 14-point swing throwing that kick at the 1 yard line. And so if you make that type of mistake against a team like the Chiefs did not play well. They did not play. They didn't play a bad game, but they didn't play to get like they played in week 1, or it wouldn't have even been close after a play like that. So I think that the Chiefs are going to be tough to overcome. But if anybody's going to do it, the Chargers and Raiders have a more realistic chance this year of doing it than anybody has the past 4 years.
This is Chiefs dominated this division for the last 4 or 5 years. And last year it kind of, you saw the Raiders getting a close game with them. You saw the Broncos have a close game. Even the Chargers beat them. Blake, what do you think the Chiefs are the second best team in the AFC right now besides the Bills?
To be honest with you, I think that you could probably make that argument. I think they deserve the right to, just based on previous success, to maybe have that title right now, although there are a couple other teams that are going to come knocking. It's early in the season, man, but I definitely, I'd agree with what you just said. The Bills are definitely the best team in the AFC. And, man, wouldn't it be incredible to have another, Kansas City Buffalo postseason game, this high-scoring shootout? I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what those two teams do throughout this year.
I hope it's
I'd be shocked because I think the winner of the AFC wins the Super Bowl. I don't want to count out the NFC. I don't want to count out, for God's sake, Tom Brady. But I think the AFC has better football in their conference. And I think that winner will be more battle-ready, more tested, probably go through a little bit more adversity in the AFC than in the NFC this year.
Hey, Tampa Bay's got Julio Jones, man. You got to watch out for
him. He's back. He's back now.
If he can stay healthy, he hasn't practiced the last few days since that.
No one in Tampa has. They've rested everybody.
That's true.
Hey, coming out of the AFC, you got to watch out for the Colts. They are a sleeper team this year. Said on this show, you got to watch out for them now.
We'll get to that. No, but don't worry, we're gonna get to. You're laughing, but wait till we tell you the tape. We need to get into college. We need to get to college football.
Absolutely. All right. Let's dive into before we get into college football, I want to hear what you two have for your two's locks of the week for the NFL games this week. What do you guys have? Is there any locks you guys betting on? I know you guys are degenerates. You guys like to take part in the betting sin, you sinful boys. But anyway, what do you guys got, Len? What do you have for your locks of the week?
Okay, so my locks of the week. I'm going to take the Raiders at home by 5.5. I think Arizona is coming off a really tough loss. But if I know the Raiders, what they're going to do is they're going to try to take down that they're going to try to torch that secondary that has a very low confidence. That secondary now they're hurting. They're getting bashed by every single sports channel. And I think the Raiders can take advantage of that. They got some good weapons. They can do that. And they have a good run game, too, to complement it. Plus, they have to get a win. They're in a really tough division. You can't afford to drop 2 in a row in that division. You just can't. So I like the Raiders at home by 5.5. I really like Cincinnati by 7 against Dallas. That's a lot of points. I know. But Cincinnati's they have to win, too. They're in a tough division. With Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they can't afford to lose any games. And, with Cooper Rush out there, you're going to look to see the Cincinnati make him throw the ball. And I like Cincinnati just because of that one. My last pick, it's probably not I don't know. I've been back and forth about it. But I like the Bears to cover 10 at Green Bay. I do think Green Bay is going to win the game. But I think the Bears can cover. Because like I said, Green Bay is a team with very, very low confidence right now. Bears had a really good defense in the second half against the 49ers. Granted, they didn't, have much to do with George Kittle being out. But, now this has been a thing where the Packers have dominated the Bears over the past few years. So I could see it going either way. But 10 points is a lot. And I do think Green Bay wins, but I don't think it's about 10.
Yeah, I like both of them. Blake, do you have any? I know I kind of sprung it on you. I know you kind of hopped on late here, so I feel bad. If you have anything, go for it. If not, then I'll go ahead and move on.
Man, yeah. So the thing that I love about the spreads is that more than just betting, but from an analytical standpoint, it tells you, are teams winning the ball games the way that they're supposed to win the ball game. So if you have a 16.5 point spread, you win a game by field goal. It makes me think, well, you didn't win that game in the way that you should have playing a team that you played. So the things that I see, honorable mention, man, I love the Raiders this week. I think they win by more than 6 at home against the Cardinals. Cardinals just got absolutely demolished by the Chiefs. And I just love to think that the Raiders, going back to Vegas, they're going to be at home. I think they take care of business against the Cardinals. But the two that I really love, Tampa Bay by 2.5 at New Orleans. I love it. Winston's been struggling. Kamara's been struggling. They've both been banged up. I know the Bucs have a lot of guys banged up, especially the receiving corps. But, have you seen some of the guys that Tom Brady has won with in years past? And if you take offense off the field, the Bucs defense looked incredible. Incredible against the Cowboys. They really did. And so I love Tampa Bay. And then the other one that I love, the Detroit Lions at home.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Absolutely.
Hosting your former NDSU boy, Carson Wentz, who had a great week 1 performance. He threw a couple picks, but he had a great week. I think the Lions have a lot of momentum right now. I think they really believe in themselves. I think they've taken on the personality of Dan Campbell as a team. They're just gritty. They're relentless. They did not go away against the Eagles when many times I thought they would. And so I give kudos. I like the Lions to beat the Commanders at home.
Yeah, I like that too. So isn't it like Lions minus 1.5 or something like that?
It's just 1 right now.
It's a 1. Okay, yeah, I for sure
money on that one too.
Yeah, I'm going to hammer Detroit money line probably for sure on that one. All right, moving on into the world of college football. We're going to dive into some games. We're going to pick those games. But there's a couple of games I want to hit on, and then we can make the pick after. There's a couple of games that stand out to me that I really want to hit on. And that first one being this. I may have seen this wrong, so you guys may want to help me out. You guys are the betting experts. But did I see that Washington at home against number 11 Michigan State? They're a 3-point.
Yeah.
A 3-point favored against number 11 Michigan State. Let's dive into that, boys. What in the world? Man, they're giving the Spartans zero respect.
Well, do you remember whenever Indiana became relevant in college football for about 3 years?
they were with Tom. Yeah, no, but yeah,
Michael Penix Jr. was their quarterback,
Yeah, I
and
know,
he was
right?
a baller, man. And last year, had a
Lefty,
little
right?
bit of injuries.
Yeah.
Left, went to Washington, so he's quarterback for Washington.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he is having an incredible year, man. His first two starts, Washington looks good. I mean, it's I'm hesitant to say it because I believe, like you started off with, Michigan State is getting disrespected. They still have too good of a football team. I know they lose Kenneth Walker, but they still have Peyton Thorne. The quarterback's back. They have a lot of players who return from that team. Their experience. I think the Spartans, go in and take care of business. But man, Washington has shocked me because Penix looks like a NFL quarterback out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks good. I don't know, man. This one really threw me off because when I first saw the spread, I'm thinking, oh, I got to take Michigan State on the road, right? It's Big Ten at Pac-12 school. But then, I saw last week, I saw Baylor go into BYU and lose. And, you have to always remember how much home field matters in college football, especially when you're hosting the number 11 team in the country. Washington is a team that I thought should have been ranked this week. Teams like A&M are still getting votes, who I don't think deserve it. They have a good team, but who have they? Being undefeated matters, and beating good teams matter. Not even there's multiple teams who probably shouldn't be in. They reward Texas for having a close game with Alabama. So it's just the AP poll was so inconsistent with how they rank. Based off so you have to have close games against good teams to get in, or is it? But yeah, I think I like Washington in this one at home. One thing, Blake always tells me is take the home underdog. And even though their spread is 3, I think, literally 70% of the money's on Michigan State. So who do you think the underdog is?
Yeah,
I think
right.
anyone just looking at it on paper says, oh, yeah, I'm taking Michigan State. So I think I would like the home underdog in this one. I probably would do money line instead of doing, like 3.5, because 3.5 is a lot when the game's like this. But, I think 3.5 would be safe too. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think it's going to be a close game.
No, definitely. I like Michigan State in that game. I know I'm like most of America. I was pretty shocked to see that spread. But I've always been, and I grew up in the Big Ten, heart of the Big Ten. So I'm going to go ahead and ride the Big Ten all the way on this one.
Do you think the Thorne, the guy from Michigan State's legit? Because I watched him the first game, and
last year he was.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, last year he played. He did more than enough. He had their offensive scheme last year was give it to Kenneth Walker over and over and over again, and then have him not screw the game up. The Jimmy G formula, but he has. But I think he does his job very well.
Is he better than McCarthy at Michigan?
I haven't seen enough out of McCarthy yet. He hasn't done enough. I haven't seen enough out of him yet. Cade McNamara was the guy who led him to the dream win against Ohio State last year, and he's not starting this year. So the hype around him is real, but we haven't seen anything out of him yet.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's get this game out of the way. I got to talk about it. I thought this game was going to be a hyped football game. I thought it was going to be a great game to talk about. I thought coming in here that the boys were going to be potentially undefeated or looking good, but unfortunately they are the toilet bowl team of the Big Ten. We have number 6 Oklahoma going to Lincoln, Nebraska, and the Oklahoma Sooners are a 10-point favorite in the game. Blake, what do you got? I already know it. Just lay it on me. Let's get it over with.
Give me the Sooners. Nebraska goes out. Charleston Southern, literally it was over 600 total yards, wasn't it?
It was 500. It was a lot.
It was ridiculous to Charleston Southern, and then you have Oklahoma coming in. They're hot, and you really think Oklahoma. They're a top 10 team coming into Lincoln after you just lost your head coach. There's one of two ways that teams bounce back after they lose a head coach midseason. One, they either all inspire and rally for some kind of improbable win, or two, the season just begins to snowball. In this case, with Nebraska, the way that they've been last week's game, the Oklahoma's offense and then the Nebraska's defensive woes, give me Oklahoma all day. No brainer here for me.
Oklahoma's first 2 games been blown out. So I like Oklahoma a lot. But Nebraska, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. With until they can actually, because are you going to go the rest of the season and not hire anybody? And usually when that happens, it's just going to be tough, man. You're going to see a lot of, especially when they get into conference play. I don't know. I hate it for Dylan. I really do. But man, Oklahoma. That's my Big 12 champ. My Big 12 champs. So Dylan's and Debo's Big 10, both 12 champs aren't winless anymore or win.
Yeah, they died, but it's okay.
Doesn't have a loss. Mine doesn't.
Texas is going to win it.
Debo picked Texas. Dylan picked Baylor, and I have Oklahoma.
Texas will win it.
And I don't think Texas will make it to the Big 12 championship. I think Texas is good, but it depends.
Hey, watch out for Oklahoma State. They're a dark horse. Watch out.
Watch out. That helps them out a lot.
Watch out for Iowa. Iowa's coming for the Big Ten too.
Right.
Another sleep.
Well, that game, I'm calling it the toilet bowl. When they play each other at the end of the year, that's the big rivalry game. I can't wait to call that one.
But Oklahoma, I had them winning convincingly by more than 11 for sure.
Yeah. I've thought about going to a game down there because I'm not so proud Nebraska alum. I went to school there, the whole deal. And I thought, it'd be fun to go to a game, nostalgia factor, go check them out. I'm pretty convinced if I went to that game, I'd be sitting at the rail yard watching on TV and just thinking about and sorrowing away at the game at halftime. It'd be pathetic to watch. But I think Oklahoma's going to absolutely smoke them. I think they're not going to hire a coach this year. They're going to have their interim head coach. I can't think who it is. I saw it on social media the other day. I can't remember who it is, but it don't matter. Yeah, no. I think they should go for Dave Aranda from Baylor. That's what I think they should go for, because Baylor is not going to be in this power system. I think he's one of the main names I've heard, but I would love to have him become aboard and see what happens. But
yeah.
Hey, I'm all high on Minnesota this year. Go Gophers! They're winning the Big Ten West. Ohio State, you're getting smoked in the Big Ten championship game. Let's get it going. All right, moving on to a team that neither of these gentlemen care for too much. They're at home, but they got to take on number 22. Penn State comes to town at Auburn. I believe the spread I got is Penn State -3. If I'm wrong, you guys can fill me in. But what do you guys think about that game, Landon? Go ahead and dive in. Actually, let me give my take on it. I think Penn State's going to – I got Penn State in this game pretty strong. I think they're going to be I think they're going to come out. I think it might be a close game, but I think Penn State will get them in the end. But I want to hear you guys' takes. I know how much you guys love Auburn and the War Eagle Nation. What do you got, Landon?
It goes against every single. It hurts me because Blake knows exactly what I'm thinking.
You're not picking Auburn. You're not.
Don't do it.
It goes against every. No, and that is home underdog.
All right, it's my show now. Landon's cut off. It's done. I can't believe it's happening. Debo, get back on the show right now. Go ahead.
It goes against every single thing you're supposed to do, right? Because home underdog. Auburn's a hard place to win. People forget a lot of times how hard it is to win at Auburn. This is the same team that last year Ole Miss got embarrassed there last year and had a Heisman candidate.
Alabama.
Yeah, we're not talking about that game, but
they snuck out last year.
Yeah, we didn't sneak out. Bryce Young kicked down the door. That's what happened last year.
That was.
But yeah, I can't make myself pick Auburn. As much as I want to pick the home underdog in a rowdy environment, a team like Penn State, who I don't think has been tested quite yet on the road yet, I got to go Penn State. I can't pick Auburn. And maybe that's some bias, or maybe it's just looking at Auburn's roster and saying this is a team that, maybe should have lost to San Jose State last week. And just a lot of drama going on with the coach and the boosters. And I feel like they're one bad loss away in SEC play from just blowing the whole thing up. So I'm gonna pick Penn State to cover 3.
I, with everything in my body, wanted to pick Auburn. I look for every reason to pick Auburn because there's something about Jordan-Hare Stadium that it's like a seance whenever you walk in. I mean, it's just filled with witchcraft, paganism, and dark magic because there's always something that happens in that stadium in Auburn's favor. And I mean, you play Auburn, if you took them out and played them at a neutral site, it's one thing, but you walk into Jordan-Hare and they turn into the 85 Bears. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. But and they're at home and, 3-point underdog. I wanted to take them so bad, but the one thing that kept me from taking Auburn in this game is TJ Finley. Yeah. I mean, the guy, he's season stats, he's 22 of 34, 279 passing yards, 1 touchdown and 3 picks. And he's played Vina High School and Talladega School for the deaf and blind. I mean, he's Mercer in San Jose State, and he's thrown a pick and 3 interceptions. And they beat San Jose State by 1 score. And now Penn State's coming in. They have James Franklin, great coach, Clifford. He's had an up and down career, but he is a veteran quarterback. And man, I don't see where Auburn has a fighting chance. I don't see where they score points unless Tank Bigsby is able to rush for over 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. So give me Penn State in this game for sure.
I think Sean Clifford might be out because he tested positive for eugenics. He's so old, dude. He's got gray hair coming out there. He's like a 60-year senior. No, I'm just joking around. He didn't test positive, but I'm just joking. He's like 90 years old. He's been there since 2000. But no, I think Penn State's going to absolutely roll them. I think not roll them, but I think they're going to beat them by a touchdown or more. All right, the next one. Here we go. BYU heads to Oregon. I got them down as Oregon as a 3.5-point favorite. Can the Cougars get it done against the Ducks? Landon, what do you got?
So I like BYU a lot. I coming to Oregon. Oregon has a good O-line. Looked terrible against Georgia. I don't know if Oregon. That's the only thing is I would pick BYU for is BYU's tested at a home game against a good Baylor team. They are tested. Oregon has been tested and they failed miserably. Granted, it was against Georgia, but just off the eye test, haven't looked much into the game based off the eye test. I'm going to go ahead and take BYU.
Man, I like Oregon. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead, Blake.
I was going to say, man, I like Oregon in this game. I think just like last week, BYU had Baylor coming in. They were a ranked team. BYU had them at home. They were able to pull out, a game they probably shouldn't have won, but Baylor had opportunity after opportunity. It's like they wouldn't free Blake Shippen to make throws that he felt like he needed to. They really dumbed down the playbook. And so I think Oregon's going to have that same advantage this week, though. BYU's coming in. They got absolutely throttled by Georgia on national television.
So, Bo Nix.
You're picking Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Twitter Bo
Nix. A little bit of that.
Well, if Bo Nix win a game he's supposed to win, that's dangerous territory.
Me and Landon used to get sick and tired. Gary Danielson would call him Backyard Bo Nix, because he'd say he has that Bo Nix magic. And just about every time I'd hear him say it, I was ready to absolutely throw anything near me through the television because it just made me so sick. But I'm taking Backyard Bo. I think he pulled something out of his Jordan-Hare hat that he used to wear.
Didn't Calzada transfer to Auburn?
Do what?
The guy from A&M transferred to Auburn, Calzada?
Yeah, apparently he was buried. I know after training camp, he was 3rd on the depth chart. I'm thinking, why not give the man a chance?
Yeah.
The SEC is like a carousel of quarterbacks. I feel like they interchange. LSU guy goes to Auburn. I feel like they switch all the time. It's a constant carousel. And the SEC, who can make it where, who can back up where.
Yeah.
Because none of them beat Alabama or Georgia. That's how it goes.
Now that you mentioned it, man, why not give Max Johnson a shot at A&M? Haynes King looks terrible.
Well, apparently,
I think he got benched.
No, really?
I think
I'm pretty sure he got benched today.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could, and that's interesting going into the game with Miami.
I'm pretty sure he got benched today.
I think Max Johnson's going to be good. He gave Bama fits last year.
Yeah.
Well, Blake, thank you Thank you for that great segue into our last game picked in college football. We got number 13 Miami heading to number 24 Texas A&M. And if I'm seeing this right, A&M is a 5.5-point favorite at home.
Line's moved up to 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
6.5. So they're high on the A&M Aggies. I don't know. I think without Haynes King.
Yeah.
That might be a blessing though too. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Landon, what do you got in that game, brother? Tyler Van Dyke. Watch out for that name. I picked it last week.
That's the thing.
Heck of a quarterback, man.
In these ranked games, usually I have to go with the better quarterback. You know, rarely do you see these games like this where the better quarterback doesn't win. Texas A&M does have a lot of players, and usually that wins. But last week, I saw those better players get outplayed. So it is possible. I'm going to take Miami to cover 6.5. Because even if A&M does win, I think it's going to be a close game. This was supposed to be College Game Day. You guys know that. This was supposed to be College Game Day. But after last week at Appalachian State, it got changed and moved to Appalachian State.
I took it from him, yeah.
Yeah. So A&M is going to have a lot to prove. And I'm going to take Miami. But this is a good opportunity for A&M to show if they are legit, we'll know this week. And if they lose this week, it's over. There's obviously 2 losses. You're out the playoffs. You don't come back from that. So we're going to see how good they are this week. Their backs against the wall against a Miami team that's, some people think they're the 13th best team in the country. I don't, but.
Well, Blake, you are a prophet, my friend, because I just looked it up. Max Johnson is starting against the Miami Hurricanes this Saturday.
I also called, speaking of A&M and being a prophet, I also called last week with Appalachian State coming into College Station that Appalachian State was going to be a problem and that you needed to absolutely smash them.
What was the spread? Probably it was like
19.5.
Yeah, we picked Appalachian to cover. I remember that.
Heck yeah. Well, diving into teams that are a problem this week, I asked both these gentlemen to pick their upset pick of the week. And the only catch was it had to be above a 4-point underdog. So I'll go ahead and tell you mine first. I like the Texas Tech Red Raiders to go into, I don't even know where NC State's located, but I like them beating the number 16 NC State Wolfpack on the road. I like Texas Tech to put up 50 on them and make it a shootout. And I don't think NC State's going to keep up with them. Landon, who do you got for your upset pick of the week?
Okay. Does it have to be a ranked team? That was my question.
No, it just has to be a big upset. It can't be Bowling Green versus Northern Kentucky. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. With the last few years, Houston. Between the last few years, when I tell you the team they're playing, you'll be like, okay, it counts as an upset. Kansas at Houston. I like the spread. I don't know if they can win, but I love the spread. It's 8.5. Okay?
It's not an upset if they don't win.
Yeah, you got to pick them to win.
I know. And so if I had to pick somebody to win, I had another one. Let me find it. I had one that I really like. I really wanted to pick Cal at Notre Dame just to be a jerk. But, I should have picked Nebraska, I guess.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. Like, you go ahead. I'm looking at these right now.
You know who you should take, to be honest with you? Should take Colorado to beat Minnesota. That's who you probably should take, knowing my luck. But
all right, so one of these three, I picked 3 games for you, Blue.
Oh, boy.
All, I believe, are over. I haven't seen the spread released. The first one, I just believe is worth mentioning. NDSU at Arizona. I think they go in there. I think the Bison knock off the Wildcats. Arizona has been fumbling. NDSU, the number 1 FCS team in the country. I think NDSU goes into Arizona and takes care of business.
If you're from where I'm from, that's not an upset, Blake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's different up there, apparently.
They are so delusional about that team. They think they could go and give Bama a game right now. All of them do. It's so ridiculous.
Oh man,
That
no, they're
team
good.
walks
I'm not
on- that
knocking
team
them.
walks on water, man.
Yeah, they're good. I'm not knocking them, but I mean, like it's like a few years ago they beat Kansas State. I remember they were big on it. Kansas State went like 4-8
Right.
in the Big 12.
Should have
But
seen when
NDSU has a
Wentz beat Iowa State. It was mayhem when Wentz went in and beat
yeah,
Iowa State.
yeah, I remember that. Gosh. And then my other one, the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky, man. I thought I was going to fade those guys all year. They come in, guy steps in for Bailey Zapp. I forget his name, but he's got 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. Hilltoppers have been moving the football. I think that they're going to knock off Indiana. Indiana's looked weak so far this year. I think they're primed for an upset alert. And then the last game, just keep an eye on it. Not saying it's going to happen. UTSA at Texas. I know that Texas had a great game last week, but it was a very emotional game. Coming off a game like that, I don't see how you can really get up for UTSA at home, especially whenever you've had, Hudson Card was limping. Quinn Ewers is out for 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to be really interesting to watch that game and see if Texas can come back. UTSA's their first 2 games have both went into overtime. So I mean, it's like they're the kind of team that's gritty. They battle, they fight to the end. So I think Texas definitely doesn't cover 12.5, but put the Longhorns on upset alert, man, because I think the Roadrunners should come in and get it done.
Okay. After looking at all the spreads, I couldn't find one upset pick that I liked. So I decided to pick the one that I hated the most and pick it, because if it hits, I'm a genius. So I'm picking Toledo on the road at Ohio State. And if I'm wrong,
I was waiting for some Spencer Rattler love, to be honest with you. But.
If I'm wrong, I'll accept it. But if I'm right, I don't even know what the mascot is. You know what? Screw it. I'll take Spencer Rattler in South Carolina.
I was waiting for a Western Michigan over Pitt.
I looked at that, but how bad Michigan State handled them, and Michigan State didn't play a good game, I couldn't. I did look at that, though. I'll take South Carolina and Georgia. I'll take it.
Get out of here.
Give it to me. I'm taking it. I'll take
Toledo could bring back Kareem Hunt to play running back for him and break the defensive line for Ohio State's legs, and they still couldn't beat them.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna parlay South Carolina, Toledo, and Youngstown State at Kentucky. We'll go ahead and do those 3 games. I'll parlay it, and we're sitting here Monday, and Toledo beat Ohio State. You're gonna look stupid.
Hey, I actually would cheer for that. I don't like Ohio State.
Crazy.
It's only a Big Ten team I could never even think about cheering for. I hate Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm picking Toledo to beat Ohio State.
All right, Landon. I'm going to let you take over as host for this next part because you have all of the games for the NFL ready to rock, and you have your games you want to pick. And you go ahead and cover them how you want to cover them. I'll let you go ahead and take over and what you want to talk about in the NFL games this weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick segment. I just wanted to go over the 5 best games for the NFL this week, not counting Monday Night Football. We're going to review those on Monday. But today, I wanted to go with you two and get your picks for the 5 NFL games we looked at and we thought were the best games. The first game is going to be a noon game. It's Miami going to Baltimore. Miami coming off a win against the Patriots. Baltimore, easy one against the Jets. The spread is 3.5 in favor of Baltimore. Blake, what do you think?
Give me the Dolphins. I want the Dolphins. I think Baltimore's – I don't think they're the same team that they've been in years past. I know last year kind of began a downfall. I don't see him coming back from that. I don't. Lamar Jackson's incredible. Mark Andrews is incredible. They have pieces, but losing Hollywood Brown took away a little bit of the firepower. I know Duvernay and Bateman stepped up, but I'd like to see Miami. I'd like to see their offense really come to life, put a lot of points on the board. I think that if Baltimore does win, it's going to be a close one. So I think there's value there, believing that Miami is going to cover the 3.5-point spread.
Okay, Dylan, what you got?
You like Miami over Baltimore at home, huh?
I do. I know.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, brother. I think that Baltimore – I got Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team, one of my leagues, so I got to ride with the guy that I got. I got Tua and none of them.
You don't want to let your
Jalen Waddle this year. I don't know what happened. I got Miami hate this year, but I got the Ravens. I got John Harbaugh leading them. I got the Ravens not only covering, but I got the Ravens winning that game on Sunday.
And also, as a general manager, you can't be into it with your quarterback, or else your organization will never work.
That's true.
So you have to support Lamar.
Okay, next game. We're rolling. Tampa Bay's traveling to New Orleans. Tom Brady, since he's been the quarterback at Tampa Bay, is 0-4 against New Orleans, and none have been pretty. They all been horrible, been ugly. There's been injuries in the game. Every single game Tom Brady has played in New Orleans as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, he has thrown a pick six. Is this going to be different? Chris Godwin is out. Potentially Donovan Smith. He has a hyperextended elbow. They said it's strictly pain tolerance. It'll be a game time decision to see if he can go or not. Outside of that, everybody else is ready to go for this Tampa Bay. Defense is healthy. Offense is kind of not really there. We don't know. But the spread is New Orleans to cover 2.5. They're 2.5 underdogs against Tampa Bay. Blake, what do you think?
I like Tampa Bay. I know I'm taking another road team. I think the Saints are just a little banged up. I love Tom Brady. Talked about it earlier. His receiving corps banged up. I just like to see the Bucs kind of get this monkey off their back, and that will kind of set the tone for their season. I think this is a tone-setting game for both teams, really. You know, that the Saints are going to get off to a 2-0 start despite being banged up and try to make a run, or the Bucs are going to finally get this monkey off their back and be 2-0 as well, kind of getting everybody healthy and looking for momentum throughout the season. So give me the Bucs.
Yeah. Dylan, what you got?
I have no, I'm just kidding. I got to go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to roll them. Taysom Hill, yeah, he's good. He's a gimmick, but no. All the way, I got Tampa Bay is coming in, and he's going to absolutely tear up the Saints. Sean Payton's no longer the coach. They don't have the offensive scheme. They don't have it. Jameis is probably going to he'll eat chicken. He'll eat the crab legs before the game, do the W thing, all the gimmicks, all the things. He'll say something outlandish before the game and after the game, but it don't matter. Tom Brady is going to absolutely smoke him. Todd Bowles will get a big win for his resume. It'll look good on all over Tampa Bay.
Now, one thing that I wanted to say is Tom Brady, when he talked about coming back, when he's coming out of retirement at the press conference, he said there were some things that there was some unfinished business why he came back. And people were talking about, so in the postseason, and he said, yes, but there's also a team in the regular season that we still have unfinished business with. And everyone knew they were talking about the New Orleans Saints and beating them not only in New Orleans, but in Tampa. And getting that, you lose to a team for four straight times, back-to-back years, not counting the one postseason when they had against them. That's one thing that, Tom Brady's ultimate competitor, he wants to get off his back. So this is one of those games that he wants to win. He's not playing for the post. He wants to win this game. So I like Tampa 2 in that. Next, we got Arizona at Las Vegas. We know Blake's a big Vegas guy. Spread's 5.5. Blake, I think you've already picked Vegas earlier in the show, correct?
Vegas, man. Give me Vegas.
Yeah.
All day. I think that they're going to put it on them. I really do. I'm biased. I'm a fan, so I'll get that out there. But I'd love to see the Raiders bounce back. Also, I think another tone setter for them this season. They need this game. You can't afford to fall 0-2 this early in the year, 2 games below 500. I think that the Raiders are too good, too talented of a team to let that happen. So give me the Raiders at home.
Dylan, what you got?
I really, really want to pick Arizona. I really do. When the Vikings fall apart, I usually go with Arizona teams. That's just how, because I actually live in Arizona, as I've said before. But Vegas is going to bounce back after a good game with the Chargers. I like Vegas. It's honestly, knowing how bad the Cardinals look game 1, I bet there's going to be I don't know. I think Vegas is going to absolutely smoke them. I think Vegas is going to beat them by 10 plus. I don't think Kyler Murray. I'm worried about their offense. They don't have the firepower. Yeah, they've missed one player named DeAndre Hopkins that we all know about, but I don't know. I'm not high on their defense. Got some injuries. I like the Vegas Raiders all day long.
Okay. And then we got 2 more really fast ones. This one, Cincinnati at Dallas. Dak Prescott is out for the game, out for a few weeks. Zeke looked really good last week. Bengals coming off a tough loss to the Saints, which Joe Burrow had 5 turnovers, but still had a chance to win it with a missed PAT, a missed field goal in overtime. So Dallas at home, 7-point underdog. Dylan, what do you think?
Joe Shiesty's not losing 2 games in a row.
Okay.
That's not happening. I got Dallas, who's absolutely falling apart. They got Cooper Rush at quarterback. Dak Prescott's out. He's out. I got Joe Shiesty and the boys. I think they're going to put it on them pretty good. I don't know if I can pick them to cover 7, but I think they're going to beat them pretty handily.
Blake, what do you think?
Give me the Dallas Cowboys. In Jerry's world, baby, everything changes. Cowboys got them at home. Listen, I love their defense. Against Tom Brady, I thought the defense looked really well. They allowed a touchdown in the third quarter to Mike Evans, but beyond that, they held the Bucs to 4 field goals. That was their only scoring besides that. So I think their defense is going to be enough. What's really going to matter in this game is, can Cooper Rush step in? He doesn't have to make incredible plays to put the Cowboys in position to win. But what he does have to do is manage the ball. Don't turn the ball over. Make a couple of throws to get a first down, to advance a drive. And then Ezekiel Elliott, obviously, is going to have to carry a load. He looked really good in that first game. I was shocked they only gave him the ball 10 times. And so look for him to get 20, 25 carries in this game. And listen, I'm not saying that they necessarily win. I think the Cowboys have a great shot to win. But I don't think that the Bengals beat them by more than a touchdown. And so that's why I like Dallas. The spread's at 7. So I think Dallas is the team to take here. I really do.
Now, Dak Prescott will return in Week 5, but also one thing to note is that T. Higgins is going to be game time decision. He got hurt last week. So, and also another thing to note is Dallas's pass rush looked really, really good against Tampa Bay.
Micah Parsons, man. He is a dog. That guy's a dog.
Lawrence, they had a really good pass rush, and that's what gives Cincinnati fits.
It does.
Last week, it hurt him so much was Pittsburgh getting pressure. So, last game we'll talk about, and then we'll get some NFL trivia. We had the Chicago Bears going to Green Bay, going to see their owner, Aaron Rodgers, at home. A-Rod, dominated the Bears for as long as we can remember. Chicago 1-0. I can't remember the last time the Bears 1-0, and they're pretty excited. They think if they can steal this one, 2-0, the win against Green Bay and the 49ers, 2 playoff teams last year, that's not a bad look for Chicago. So it is a big game. They're trying to prove themselves, and also Green Bay just trying to win. Who do you guys think is going to win? Green Bay is favored by 10 at home. Blake, what do you think?
I think Green Bay gets the win. I think after dropping to 0-1, they obviously are upset that they got outplayed, outcoached, out everything by the Minnesota Vikings. Yep. And so
hold on. I've been waiting to talk about this. What did you say last week about the Minnesota Vikings, Blake?
1 week. It's 1 week.
I know, but I want to say that you were so. I wasn't on the show, but I do recall listening to it and you saying some very harsh things about my Vikings. Now I get it. I get it's 1 week. I get it. But you said something on the lines of like, I would never, ever take a team like the Minnesota Vikings or something along those lines. And I just wanted to say that felt so good. That was absolutely incredible. I'm going to have my 15 minutes here. I'm going to have to do it. I'm telling you, I know. It's one game.
That's a Super Bowl for the Vikings, bro. That's all y'all have here.
I'm not picking that. They're 0-4 in the Super Bowl. I'm not picking that ever. They're probably going to make the playoffs. But you know what they're going to. But I just wanted to put a little bit of respect on their name, Blake. You dogged so bad last week, brother.
They deserve it. But also that's probably the worst Aaron Rodgers team that he has had.
It might be the worst team he's ever had.
So I'm the idiot. No,
you're not. No, you're not, Blake. You're not.
So we agree.
I just had to do it.
The Vikings defense is good, but it was more about Aaron Rodgers not having weapons and having a bad game. That's what was more about.
I don't know, man. Vikings dominated that, man.
Do you think their defense is that much better than the Bears' defense? The Bears have a good defense.
Yeah, they're on the field the whole game. That's been the problem with the Bears for the last 5 years. They have a good defense. They have a solid team, but they're on defense for 30 minutes a game. So what do? They get tired and they get blown out at the end of games.
So you're taking Green Bay?
I'm taking Green Bay.
I don't think Green Bay covers.
Yeah,
10
maybe
points.
not cover.
10 points.
But I do think Green Bay wins the game.
Last week was everything was close in the NFL besides.
I don't think Green Bay covers 10 points. No way. Yeah, it's a bounce back game, but I don't know, man. They got a lot to figure out. That wasn't just a one game your first game of the year. I'm not saying, and I know Aaron Rodgers always says relax. He's like the guy who always says that thing. But you know what? Now I'm not saying they're gonna. I think they're gonna figure it out, but I don't think they're gonna figure it out in 1 week and turn it around. I really don't.
Yeah,
I agree with you guys. I'm with Green Bay. With Chicago to cover 10. I think it's a lot of points. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and go to our last segment, NFL trivia. Dylan's gonna head that up.
All right, let me hop back into it here. I want to give you. So we got a little bit of time. We finished up a little early today. I want to go ahead and ask you a couple of things. I pulled up. I can't go. I get too excited to pick. I got a couple of couple of NFL players. I want to see if you guys know their colleges too. Like I'm gonna do like 3-4 of them, and then we'll move on to the trivia. If that's okay.
Can I ask Blake something real quick? Because there's something that I do want to ask Blake.
Yeah, go for it. Please do.
Also, I just got a headline. It said that Winston had his press conference today. He said he was ready to rock against the Bucs.
Yeah, he's always saying something stupid.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that press conference. Blake, so last week we had some conversations with Debo. Debo said a lot of stuff last week. He said
Sounded like it.
I'll tell you the bad one next. The first one he said was we did our top 5 teams in the NFL right now. Okay, and one is and I was asking him. I said, okay. He said the Colts were 4. And I said, okay, well, who do you think's better, them or Buffalo? And he said, Buffalo. I said, okay. Who's better, them or Tampa Bay? Oh, Tampa Bay. And then I was like, them or the Rams? He said, I'll go to the Rams, go to Super Bowl. Then I said, them or the Chiefs? And he said, the Colts. And I said, Debo, what are you talking? You think the Colts are big, bro? The defense is way better? He said, the only thing they have over them is Matt Ryan, is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Everything else, the Colts are better at. The team that tied with the Texans.
No.
I was wondering what you thought about,
ludicrous, Debo. What a ludicrous statement to make.
Okay, this one's worse. You've already heard about this.
This is the same team. I know they have Matt Ryan instead of Carson Wentz. This is the same team that got embarrassed by the Jaguars in the last week of the regular season last year to miss the playoffs.
Well, Debo said
I cannot put them in the top.
He said it was all Carson Wentz's fault, all of it last year.
I'll bet you this. I'll bet that the Colts are a bottom 10 team. Like they or bottom 12 team. Literally, they will not be in the top 20 this year in the NFL.
Really?
Will
they win their division?
Middle of the pack best.
You don't have them in their division?
No.
Same with the Titans or the Texans.
I don't think so. Titans win it.
Yeah, as long as Derrick Henry's there, it's tough. I picked the Colts in the division, but after week 1, I really want to do the Titans because the Titans.
Which I don't know. Colts could bounce back. Bounce back, but Matt Ryan didn't look great at all in week 1. Didn't look bad. He didn't look great.
The second thing, we'll get into the trivia and we'll get to Dylan's picks and stuff.
We don't have to do this one.
Debo said
we don't have to do this.
That he wouldn't. He didn't say that Stetson was the best player in college football, but he said that Stetson's better than Bryce Young. But we all think Bryce Young's the best player in college football. So we don't know what he was trying to say.
How?
If you go back and watch it, you'll just see.
He's trolling you, Landon. He doesn't actually think that. He's trolling.
Now, we're convinced that
he's coming at you. He has to be. No.
You saw the grin he had on his face. He told you before the show that he was going to say something wild.
No human being, bro.
He said he believes it 100%. I'm like, dude, if you believe it, say it. Like I told
no human being who watches sports seriously has that take. There is no way. So he had to have been messing with you. But I'm going to tell myself that, even if he wasn't, so that I can sleep at night.
It's like saying Pau Gasol is better than LeBron James. It's literally that's the best comparison you can get.
Well, he is.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, Landon. Hold on. Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying LeBron's better than Pau Gasol.
I said no. Pau Gasol is better than LeBron.
Pau Gasol is a part of the greatest brother tandem to ever play in the NBA.
He is.
One of the greatest.
That's who I could think of.
He's a dog.
Yeah, Pau and Derek Fisher. All right.
All right, here we go. I'll dive into it. Here we go. Let's dive right into it. I always like to play a game at the end of the show. We'll dive right into NFL/NCAA trivia. I think it's more NCAA trivia because I got 2 big college football guys on. So let's dive right into it. My first question here is for Landon.
Okay.
What school has the longest losing streak in NCAA football history at 34 games?
Is it a well-known school or not really?
I mean, they're Power 5.
Rutgers.
I'll give you a clue. It's not Rutgers.
Okay, I'll do yes.
But
oh no, that was his answer. He doesn't get the clue.
All right.
Dude, I don't know this.
You know, Blake?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I'll give Landon one more guess. I'll give you the conference. It is the Big Ten. And if you can't get it, Blake can steal.
Big Ten.
This is the longest losing streak in NCAA football history.
I'm gonna say Nebraska, but it might be after this year. Give me Minnesota.
Oh, I wouldn't dog my team like that.
I have no idea.
Go ahead, Blake.
So I'm down. I'm thinking it could be Purdue. I'm thinking it could be Indiana, and it could be Northwestern. That's the three that I'm down to.
I should have said Northwestern. I thought that's a much better guess.
I think it's Purdue or Northwestern. I'm going to take Landon. What do you think it was?
I'll say Northwestern.
I'm going to say Purdue.
It was Northwestern.
Oh!
I was trying to keep it together. I'm like, dang, he's getting it down there. He's getting it down. All right.
Dang it.
So, Blake, for you, since I gave him the biggest losing streak, who has the largest winning streak in NCAA football history? It is 47 games.
Okay, so initially I wanted to say USC, but that's way too.
That's what I thought. I thought it's USC because of the back-to-back championships and the.
It's got to be an old legend. It's got to be
It
a
is.
USC, a
Both
Notre
of them
Dame,
were.
a Texas, or an Arkansas maybe. Give me Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame.
It is not Notre Dame. Now I'll give you the conference, and this will probably give it away. The Big 12.
Me?
So
No,
many
it's
teams
Blake
used to
gets
have
one
good
guess, and
teams.
I'll give him the conference, and then it's up to you, Blendon.
Okay.
Nebraska.
It is not. Landon.
You said it's the big. I was gonna say Nebraska. Ohio State.
Oklahoma.
It is Oklahoma, Blake. But
Yeah, I freaking knew it.
You said Big 12. Nebraska
Yeah,
used to be in the Big
I
12.
said Big Ten. That's why I was so confused. Like,
Oh,
I
I did.
I would have said Texas though.
I did say Nebraska. What an idiot. That's really bad on our parts, Landon.
All
We
right.
really messed
No,
this
I
up.
said that because you said that. And I'm thinking, oh, Nebraska. That's Big Ten. So I was.
They technically were in the
It didn't mean we're in
12, whatever. Shut up.
All right, here we go. Moving on. Here we go. So my next question is for Mr. Landon Stidham.
Sure.
This is a pretty easy question. What is USC's stadium called?
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I literally watched the whole. I literally watched the documentary like last week. The Trojan War.
You know this.
I feel like I did, but I'm wrong. The Rose Bowl. I know it's like has a bit of Rose, don't it? No.
No, it's a different stadium.
Yeah, I feel like I know it, and as soon as Blake said it's gonna piss me off.
Now you
Trojan.
guess the Rose Bowl? That's what you said. Blake, what do you got?
That's what I said. I didn't.
The Coliseum.
It is the LA Coliseum. You are correct.
Okay.
That's
All right.
I thought you had that, bro.
I thought it too.
All right, here we go. Is that Blake?
Yep.
We already brought this up, and I'm going to ask it again. We already talked about it. In what year did Nebraska move to the Big Ten?
I wouldn't have a chance at that. 2007.
No. Landon.
2009.
No. I'll give you guys another guess. Blake.
1982. I'm throwing stuff out there. I don't know.
Nebraska played in like the 2010 2009 Big 12 championship game. I'm sorry, you guys don't know Nebraska history, but I'll give you a clue.
I can honestly say that
it was
Nebraska has
after
not been one of my
2010, Blake.
Oh, can I go? Yes,
most. 2012.
It is 2012.
No.
2012, 2-0, Mr. Stidham. Here we go. Landon. Who was the Heisman runner-up in 2010 to Cam Newton? And I cannot give you the team because that will give it away.
Conference?
I'll give both of you guys a guess, and then I'll go to the conference.
But he already knows what it is.
I don't think I do.
You think he does?
I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. Honestly, I need the conference. Blake can guess if he wants to, and then after that,
Go ahead, Blake. He's forfeiting his guess.
I keep trying to think of 2010. So that was obviously Cam Newton. There was a stud that played for.
what's the position?
I'll give you a quarterback.
Quarterback. As I say, it had to be a quarterback. So I was trying to think.
You can't
Played
give
Oregon in the national championship game.
Wait, hurry!
Missouri. I'll forfeit too until I know the conference.
All right, Landon. Pac-12.
Andrew Luck.
It is Andrew Luck.
Stanford, right?
Yeah.
No.
He Googled it. I heard his phone hitting his
Oh,
face.
yeah, right.
Shut up.
All right, 2-1. Mr. Stidham and Blake coming to you.
I'm not going to win this one.
Who was the 2013 Heisman runner-up
Who
to
won that year?
Jameis Winston?
I would guess.
I would need a conference.
Can I guess?
Are you forfeiting your?
Yeah, you know the Heisman runner. Why are you looking down, Landon? He's sitting here looking
at
these
you,
things
bro.
up.
You're my
I can
camera.
tell when he's looking these things up. Who was it, Landon?
I'm going to guess Marcus Mariota.
No.
Okay.
Would you like the conference, boys?
No.
Conference.
That's our best.
SEC.
2013?
I can't remember what happened.
Who was the quarterback 2013?
Crap, was it? Heisman runner up.
The winner was
Jameis Winston.
now 2013.
Who you got, Blake?
I don't know.
Dak Prescott.
No.
I
You
give
guys are
up,
going to
dude.
kick yourself for this one.
Who was it?
Is it AJ?
A.J. McCarron.
I
Oh,
freaking said, who was the quarterback? Alabama's quarterback. Dang it.
I didn't realize he was even in the second
I thought he
Heisman.
was gone at that point. I don't know. AJ.
Well,
I was kind of shocked to see that one. All right.
Gosh.
This one's going to take a little bit of work for you guys, but I will give you each team. Here we go. Landon, name the 5 Heisman finalists in 2008. I will give you – let's see if you can get any. I'll give you the teams.
Yeah.
Number 1 went to Oklahoma. 2 went to Texas. 3 went to Florida. You know those 3, then I'll give you I'll go to the last 2. The last 2 went to Texas Tech.
Okay.
Oklahoma,
Florida
Texas,
was Tim
Florida.
Tebow.
What?
Tim Tebow was Florida.
Yep. He was 3rd on the list.
Texas was Colt McCoy.
Yep.
Oklahoma was who was the quarterback who played Florida in the bowl game? Jesus, dude, I know this guy. I want
And
to
then
say
the final 2, both went to Texas Tech.
Sam Bradford, or who was the Oklahoma quarterback who?
That's right. Sam Bradford won it.
Sam Bradford. And then I have no idea if their names aren't Patrick Mahomes. I don't know anyone who went to Texas Tech. Honestly, off the top of my head.
I know that Crab.
This
It had
year,
to be Crabtree.
there was 3 teams. Yeah. It was Michael Crabtree.
And if it was his quarterback, then it was Harrell.
Yep. Graham Harrell. Yep.
I could have named all 5 of those, Landon, so you know.
Yeah, well, I got 3 of them, so suck it.
Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to answer. Look, I had them written down as.
I did not know Michael Crabtree went to Texas Tech.
Tech.
Dude, No, so
He was a dog.
that year was
No.
one of the funnest years to be a Midwestern Big 12 guy because Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas Tech were the top 3 teams in the country, all battling out for the Big 12 title game. And Nebraska took on the winner in the Big 12 title game. It was one of the best games when Colt McCoy and Ndamukong Suh played each other. It was one of the funnest games because it came down to the very end. Go watch it on YouTube. A
when McCoy threw that ball
controversial
away?
1 second left call that got turned back. My family still talks about how bad they hate that game. One of the best games we ever watched, conference football games. Texas ended up winning it. All right. So, Blake, you get a Heisman finalist list. I'll give you the 2007 5 Heisman finalist lists. Here we go.
Right.
Actually, I feel like this is going to give it away, but I'll give you the teams, but we'll be good.
You gave him to Landon. Those gave him away for me.
I will. Number 1, Florida. 2, Arkansas. 3, Hawaii. 4, Missouri. And 5, Oregon.
So, Tebow for Florida, Darren McFadden for Arkansas,
Yep.
Colt Brennan for Hawaii.
Yep.
And then you said 4 and 5 was
Missouri and then Oregon.
And then Oregon. Mizzou had a quarterback through that time. I believe it was Chase Daniel.
It was the man who played last night.
All right. Wow.
And then Oregon at 5. This guy was on the early NCAA football covers.
The
I
running back.
can't remember his name.
He played. Yeah, I'll tell you afterward. I know. I remember what he did.
What was his name? I got more than Landon, so I'm good. What was the guy from Oregon?
Landon, do you know the 5th one from Oregon?
Nope, don't do it, Landon.
It was not Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, it was the running back, right?
No,
Oh, then I don't know.
it was not LaMichael James.
That's right. That's what my guess was.
That's what I was thinking.
It was their quarterback who went on to play a couple of games for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And his name
What was
his name was Dennis Dixon.
Dixon. Okay, he was the one who was on all the NCAA covers whenever I was like first growing up. Yeah, that's how I knew they even had a guy in it.
All right. Here we go. What I think I've told this one before, so I kind of feel like, is it for Landon? All right. No, I'm going to flip-flop them. It don't matter. You guys end up stealing each other anyway. All right. This one right here for Landon. What trophy do the Minnesota Gophers and Wisconsin Badgers play for every single year, Landon?
You literally said this last time on the show.
It's what Minnesota tries to win every year. It's the only game that really matters on our schedule. It's the only one.
Toilet Bowl? I don't know. I have no idea. Blake can
To give you a clue, it's about a certain guy.
The shoe? No,
What?
No, that's something else. I think it was shoe.
No. Blake,
Paul
you got
Bunyan.
it? What?
Paul Bunyan.
But what
Bunyan.
what does Paul Bunyan have that's important?
His hatchet.
Yeah, wax.
His axe. You bet. The Paul Bunyan axe.
No, actually, it's a hatchet, so I get the point.
No,
The Paul Bunyan axe. That is the only thing. Like I watched an interview when PJ Fleck got hired, and one of the reporters said, as long as you beat Wisconsin every year, I'll talk to the coach, I'll talk to the GM or whoever picks it about extending you. You can go 4-44 and beat Wisconsin, and we'll extend you. It's all they care about in Minnesota.
That's awesome.
All right, Blake. I feel like I asked one to Landon all the time. Like I've told to him before, so I had to give it to you. What NFL running back was Peyton Manning's running back at Tennessee in college?
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see, man. He came.
We're going back to this one a little bit, but I've known this one
I was
forever.
about to say.
I don't know why I've known it. I've known this one forever.
Manning was drafted in 99 or 2000, whichever one, 2001.
He was a good running back in the NFL too. Like he made Pro Bowls. He was good.
I feel like you're going to name somebody I don't even know is from Tennessee. I should know this one. I should know this one.
If you want to throw a guess out, then I'll give it to Landon. If he doesn't know it, then I'll give you the NFL team he played for.
Deal. LaDainian Tomlinson.
No, he went to TCU.
No idea.
You don't know, Landon? I know I've told you this. I know I have. All right. The NFL team this man played for Blake, the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't know.
I don't know. Who was it?
Remember the name Jamal Lewis?
Oh,
He played
dude.
for years, yeah.
I did not know he went to Tennessee. But
All
the
right.
Ravens, I should have known that.
And for the bonus question for both of you, who would I be if I didn't give you guys where they went to college for the bonus questions? I mean, come on. That's what I do and like to talk about. Here we go.
Show your hands, Landon. You better not be looking anything up.
First of all, I'm not going to do anything you tell me to.
I'm going to give both of you guys two of them, okay? And if you guys get both of them, then we'll go to a third one. Here we go. For Blake, Broncos wide receiver, probably the best one they've had in a while, other than Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker.
He went to a smaller school, didn't he?
I'll give you a clue. He went to a Power 5 school.
Really?
Yep.
Was it Purdue?
It was not. Landon.
I have no idea. Just tell us.
All right. All right. That question, I gotta throw my boys out there. Minnesota Gopher.
That's what I was a safe bet.
All right. For Landon,
Okay.
Tampa Bay running back, Doug Martin.
Power 5.
No.
We're going to take a shot in the dark. I mean, crazy shot in the dark. I'm going to say Toledo.
No.
I'm high on Toledo right now, so.
Blake, to steal and to get one up on him.
Big Toledo guy.
Charleston Southern.
No. He went to Boise State.
Boise State. Should have known that. A human hamster.
All right. Moving on. Is it for Blake or Lance? Blake.
Blake.
This one's kind of tough. Multiple-time All-Star wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, T.Y. Hilton.
I know this one.
I don't choose for it. No, wait. Youngstown State.
No.
You go to Youngstown State? Oh.
Landon.
No, I have no idea.
I knew it. All right. I'll give you guys a clue. One more guess. It was not a Power 5.
Figure that one.
Toledo. Big Toledo guy.
No, come on, boys. Here, help me out. These are all tough ones. The answer was Florida International.
That's what I was going to guess.
Yeah, that was my next one.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Looks like I gotta dumb it down a little bit here for you. And I'm just kidding. These are tough. I just like these. Here we go. Is it Landon?
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
If it's not Toledo, I'm not listening to any of this.
You know this one.
I really don't.
You know this one.
Is it SEC or why are you saying I know it?
It's not Power 5. It's Tony Romo.
Okay, fine. You're right. I do know this. It's well, why are you laughing at me? Give me Appalachian State.
No. Blake.
No,
Can I have two guesses?
Well, if you get the one.
Yeah, you can have mine.
Get the one. Okay.
I'm not going to put to use at all.
Is it Northern Illinois?
No.
Is it Eastern Illinois? Or
It is
Southern
Eastern
Illinois?
Hey, is it
Eastern
Eastern?
Illinois.
My turn, son. Is it Eastern?
Eastern Illinois. All right, Landon gets that.
I'm
Blake,
winning
nobody
1-0.
gets it. Here we go, Blake. Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know this one too. Hold up. No. I was just talking about this. Dude, I'm so mad. Crap. Is it Southern Illinois?
No, Landon.
Not
know
Toledo, right?
No.
No, dude. Oh my
We
god.
do Northern Illinois.
No, it's also Eastern Illinois. They
Is
both
it
went-
really?
They both went to Eastern Illinois, yeah.
So I won. I
I
won.
thought it was Southern Illinois.
All right, we got to get both of you guys to get one. Larry Fitzgerald, throw it out there. Who knows it? It's on the cover of NCAA 14, 2005.
He was. That's right. He went to Michigan.
No.
Ohio
Went
State.
to Western Michigan.
Western
No.
Michigan.
Central Michigan.
No.
Central Michigan.
Eastern Michigan.
Southern Michigan.
All right. The final one, it was Pittsburgh. You guys got to end one.
I said
Oh!
Pittsburgh. I said Pitt.
No, you didn't. It said Toledo.
No,
All right, here we go.
Actually, I was going to joke and say Pittsburgh because they lost the Super Bowl to Pittsburgh. I wish I would have.
The very last one. This is it. This is it right here. First one not shouted out wins. LaShawn McCoy. And I
Who
gotta
is
go.
that?
I gotta go to work here in like 15 minutes.
Do a different one.
You don't know LaShawn McCoy?
No.
I don't think so.
He also went to Pittsburgh. All right.
I knew it. Pittsburgh. I should have said
Pitt
it.
win.
This one should be easy if you
Excellent.
watch football. Alshon Jeffrey.
South Carolina.
There it is.
South
Carolina. All right, boys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening. You've heard of the Fan Cave Podcast. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and comment down below if there's anything else you want to cover, or if you want to say Landon stupid, do it all right now. Thank you, guys. Peace.